This is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. We are dealing with types of relationships that are unacceptable, yet they are in the church of today. And we want to rebuke this type of relationships so that they can actually come to stop, because they are disturbing the progress of the church. And that's the reason why we are dealing with that today. And we're finding people in our churches that are very insincere. They're very dishonest, and they relate with others in a very untruthful manner. And I want to speak about that just for now, and for you to remember also that it is actually a very bad spirit. It is not acceptable actually to be dishonest. It's not acceptable for being insincere. It's not acceptable either to be also untruthful in everything that you do. And we have seen this happening in our churches, whereby people are not sincere with each other. And I want to emphasize that if you are not going to be, if you're going to be insincere, rather don't deal with people, because you need to deal with people in a very sincere manner. And a church environment, some people become very trusty. And remember that it is a safe environment. It's an environment that we see as a godly environment. Now, we don't expect insincere people there. We don't expect people that are untruthful in how they deal with people. We don't expect people that are dishonest. And sometimes things that resemble dishonesty or untruthful, some people are actually seeing them just as a minor habit. And they get actually surprised when people get upset of their behavior when they've been insincere to them. Now, some of the things that you think that they are just very simple and small is promising people and making promises that you don't fulfill. Because remember, that's dishonest to make promises that you know you're not going to fulfill. And sometimes church people, what they do, promise to do things and never do them. And promise to attend meetings and never attend those meetings. And promise to participate in certain projects in the church and never participate in that. So when you've promised, remember that we are expecting you to be part of it. We counted you actually in the work that we're going to do. We counted you in the project that we're planning to do. And that is being dishonest, therefore, if you are promising yet you know you're not going to come. It's being unfaithful and truthful as well when you are promising that you will come. Also, this is looking very minor, but it is very important for us to understand that as church members, by virtue of you becoming a member in a church, you are committing to certain activities in the church. You are actually committing yourself to be part of what is taking place in the church, because you have actually signed a membership form to become part of this church. So therefore, what you are saying is that let people rely on you. Now, for you not to be unreliable, for you to be unreliable, for you to be insincere and dishonest and untruthful actually in things, you're disappointing people who have actually sort of put their trust in you. People that have trusted that you're part of what is happening, but yet you're not there to be found. And that is why not being part of prayer meetings in the church, not being part of any other activity in the church while you claim to be a member, that is being insincere. That is basically being dishonest as well. And you're being untruthful because you have said that you're part of this particular church, but yet you don't participate in the activities. And I want to warn people that take things light in the church and just commit themselves to associate with people in the church, to associate with the vision of the church, but yet do not want to participate in it. That is being insincere. That's being dishonest and untruthful as well. And we emphasize that so that we can understand that we need to be clear of where we are standing, so that we can be clear to say we want to be part of what is happening in the church. And I want to also address a character assassination spirit and what we call subjugating others. And we have these spirits unacceptably so in the church. But they are there in the church of today. And I want to warn you, if you are participating in character assassination of other people, you are not a Christian. You cannot claim to be a child of God and yet assassinate characters of other people. There are people that looks like somebody has actually put a gun on their head, whereby they will assassinate other people's characters for no reason. They will actually open their mouth just to talk bad about others. And I mean, it's unnecessary sometimes. You have to keep quiet and keep yourself silent, and if you don't know anything to speak about. If you're not going to speak about anything good about anybody, so please keep quiet and hold your peace, because there are people that are really entertaining what we call subjugating others, what we call character assassination. When you mention somebody's name, they will just say that one is like this, like this, like this, and assassinate their character, talk bad about them, to an extent that those people would actually be seen by everybody to be terrible people. And I want to emphasize this, that if you don't have anything to speak about anybody, so please don't assassinate their character. Don't subjugate them, because that's a bad spirit that is hovering in our churches right now. And we see this as a common thing. Many people character assassinate pastors while the members of the same church. Some are character assassinating church leaders while they are members of the same church. And sometimes it is the church leaders that are assassinating the character of the pastor that they're saying they are supporting. And these are type of things that are disorder in the house of the orderly God. And that is why we need to address those and make sure that we take them out of the way, and we don't participate in such things, and we don't actually entertain them at all in our churches. So please don't assassinate characters of others. Don't subjugate others as well. And if you call yourself a Christian, and I hope that you're not going to do. And we're seeing also the spirit of seeing others as a threat and limiting to them. We have seen this happening, whereby particularly pastors would actually be threatened by their own members. And I want to warn this, because if you're a pastor, but you are threatened by your own members, you think that they will take over from you. We've seen this as a common spirit as well. And we want to address it, that if you're a pastor and people have decided to come and fellowship in your church, they come in there because they love to follow your vision. They love to be part of your church. They love to be part of what you're doing. So therefore, don't be threatened by your own members. Don't be threatened by your own people, even though the people may be resourceful, maybe, and the people may be also anointed and gifted, because you will have gifted and anointed people in your own church. Don't be jealous of them as a pastor. Don't be threatened by them, because they are there to submit under you. By the way, the vision was given to you by God, and nobody will take it away from you. So therefore, please don't be afraid. Don't be threatened by people. So, and because this type of spirit, what it does, it will, when you are threatened by other people, end up limiting them, end up not wanting them to participate, end up not giving them roles to play, because you actually feeling threatened about that. We have seen leaders being threatened by members of the church, as if the members of the church will take their leadership role, as if they will take their seats of leadership in the church. And that has been common of late in the church, and we want to speak right directly unto that and warn people to say, please don't ever be threatened by people in the church. Don't be threatened by others in the church. And that's very important, because that is limiting you, and it will cause you to limit others as well when you do that. And I'm emphasizing this because it's very common spirit that we see in the churches of today as well. Now, there are those that are suspicious and jealousy and reporting one another as well. We have seen this happening, whereby amongst the members, they will be jealous against each other. They will be forever speaking to the pastor and reporting to the pastor, forever reporting to the leadership about other individuals, trying to make yourself smart and a good one in the face of the pastor by talking bad about other members towards pastors. And that's the spirit that is very common. And we want to address this spirit and say it cannot be acceptable either. It's not an acceptable spirit, and it cannot be acceptable. So please make sure that you're not involved in this spirit of seeing others as a threat and limiting to them, and don't also be suspicious and jealous against other people. And this spirit of being suspicious, we have seen it often in some of the churches, whereby if you are light in complexion, they suspect you to be a Satanist. If you are too dark for their liking in the church, you are suspected to be a Satanist. You're too quiet, you don't participate, you are suspected to be a Satanist. You participate quickly in the church, you are suspected as well to become a Satanist. I mean, all these things, where are they coming from? We see them very common in our churches right now. And I want to speak to those and say, this is not the spirit of God, it is not the spirit of the church, and we cannot continue with such spirits. And I want to warn people or churches that are really having members that are involved in this type of spirits, that cannot be acceptable, and therefore we need to be careful and say we're not going to participate in such spirit. And I want to warn people that find this to be something that is okay to do, that please be aware that it is not okay to do that. So I want to warn people that way. So this is very, very important that therefore we are careful about what we do, and we are not suspecting to other people easily. So let's make people know that they are appreciated in the church, and let them be comfortable in the church as we continue. Very, very important, and we're dealing with this so that we can remove this type of spirits in the church. I want to end up here today. Your host, Micornus Phokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and be part of this great topic. And I hope you've been blessed by listening to this. And you will, right now, make sure that you like our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, the Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, and also the Facebook page that speaks about church governance solutions. So please click notification buttons as well there. Make sure that you're notified when we do have topics of this kind. Remember also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. There you'll get a lot of materials that is very useful for you and your church, and God will bless you as you go through them. May the good Lord bless you. I'm checking out right here, and allow me to say cheers for now.